Parasite. Critics have regarded it as one of the best films of the decade. I say it's a really good film, despite this film being way more mature than my mental state. But I digress. It came out 7 years ago and was directed by Bong-Joon Ho. Sorry if I butchered the name. Who is just a mediocre director for films that definitely did not win any awards or have been critically praised before. This film is astoundingly, phenomenally, and spectacularly shot and directed that it feels like my mind is overwhelmed with. The main plot goes like this. Parasite is about a parasite. Simple. Nah, I'm joking. This film follows a poor family, the Kims, who struggle to survive financial-wise as they don't have access to things such as Wi-Fi and an actual side hustle. Like, what the f is that? Anyways, our protagonist, Ki-woo, was given an opportunity to work a side hustle as a tutor for a family, the Parks, who are so wealthy but can't even afford a bigger garage for themselves to crap their cars. Ki-woo sees this as an opportunity, a ploy to leech off their wealth. See, there are no good sides here. Both families leech off each other for their worth instead of working for it, whether it's income-wise or labor-wise. Maybe one's more morally good than the other, but still. By applying settings, costumes, and the behavior between these two families, you and I can both see that there is a clear distinction where even if these families were still taking advantage of each other, one tends to be higher ranking, higher social class, and higher survivability than the other. At the end of the day, the Kims know that what they are doing is wrong, and they are scared of getting caught doing these heinous actions, meaning that they are fully aware that the Parks have higher authority over them. Even at the falling action point, where they try to execute their plan again, they still fail, because the father of the Kims is now trapped, and we get treated with a bittersweet ending. Now, we shouldn't jump to the question of, wow, they are poor, why don't they just simply make money? That will solve the problem. See, it's not that simple. Parasite takes place in South Korea, and by using my skinny ass fingers, I can search up South Korea's poverty. Oh. Yeah, that's not good. We can see that, before this film was established, the poverty rate was high, insanely high. Assuming that this film was set in the capital city, often it is due to job security and high housing costs. This explains the basement setting for the Kims. This film reflects on class struggle, poverty, and destruction of selfishness and greed. The values and context are portrayed in spite of people who are behind the film, and the people who funded the film, who, ironically, are wealthy people. That's why the film ends with the protagonist, the Kims, unable to execute the plan. It aligns with the rich people's preferred ending, because if the Kims did win, the wealthy people would be seen as the bad guy, and obviously the wealthy people do not like that. It's an insult. It's also obvious that the higher social class will have this family on gunpoint throughout the film, but what about lower class versus lower class? Let's look at this example. During the Kim's highest of the high moment, where they get to finally live their wealthy lifestyle, yep, these guys are screwed. That facial expression and behavior says a lot of words. They opened the door to one of our antagonists, Moon-Gwan. She wanted to go retrieve her husband, but her intentions were quite evil as she blackmailed the Kims via a text message. I actually get it, I do the same. I can see why she crashed out though. Let's look at this scene. Obviously the Kims are enjoying themselves, but we see that the setting is currently rainy, nighttime. Basically, the weather symbolizes unforeseen danger, since as a person, you won't be able to see in the dark. Often this would symbolize that even if the protagonists are living the life, and everything is going how they want it to be, it can turn around. You can even clearly see that they did not expect it at all. The part where they answer the doorbell, this shot is a close-up mid-angle shot, meaning that Moon-Gwan and the family are currently at the same amount of power and authority, indicating that they are all struggling financially. At least for now. Jump forward to when they let Moon-Gwan in, and she finds the husband. We can see the fast tracking shot, the green eerie lights, the messed up stone walls, indicating that the Kims are leading themselves to greater danger, a mousetrap even. This also gives me, and you, a chilling, mysterious feeling. So to all you non-Koreans like me, you might be thinking, why would there be a basement out of nowhere? Well, basements in Korea are considered a viable resource and are common in homes. This is because ever since the upper level of North Korea and the lower level are pretty much in a conflict, basements are used for such national emergencies. You can see many basement examples, such as the Park's home, and this basement that we're about to enter with Chung-suk. You can even see on how Chung-suk reacts. She feels uneasy, sort of in a panic state of mind. When the husband is revealed, the lighting is also purposely positioned in a way to not reveal the husband fully. The hint on if he is a two-faced maniac. The husband's intention, sorry if I butchered the name, Gun-se's intentions of antagonizing the Kims, which we do see in the resolution. The final straw that signals that the Kims are in extreme danger starts by the Kims falling over the staircase. They then mention each other by name, meaning that Moon-gwon was able to piece it together that they are related, and therefore use that against them via blackmailing and exploitation. The Kims falling over its symbolism, symbolizing that a building is crumbling, burning down. Dominoes are falling. Everything that they have ever dreamed of, all falling down. The bridge connecting the Kims to their actual goal, gone. I mean, judging by the point of view shot of Moon Gwang looking down at the Kims, it shows how much power they really do have, because a high angle shot or character on their knees would indicate the low amount of authority they have. So for the Kims, it's looking a little tight. What could they do? This slow motion scene can be depicted by you and me that it's both ironic and satirical. The dramatic music can either be deciphered as either comedically hilarious or suspenseful when rooting for our protagonist. By the way, this whole brawl is also hilarious because instead of assisting each other to challenge the wealthy, they simply fight endlessly like it's gonna get them anywhere. So, as I'm showing these scenes again, we notice that two groups at the same working class, fighting and antagonizing and blackmailing and whatever. Why is this the case, you might be asking? Besides the Kims taking advantage of the Parks, this is to show that the struggles that low-income earners are going through. No one is ever willing to live like the Kims, which is why these low-income earners will push anything and anyone out of their way to fight for higher income, such as the possession of the Park's home, the theme of class struggle. When you stop and think for a second, whether or not you think that the Kims are the real bad guys here, you can see that any advantage given to them or any other low-income earner, they will exploit it as much as possible to receive the benefits as much as possible. The Kims follow through with their plans and not seeking high-income jobs because they think that poverty prevents them or lowers the chances of receiving an offer for their job. Low-income earners are most likely takers at the end of the day. Not saying all of them are, but because the Kims have been working a lame-ass side hustle making pizza boxes and getting barely paid, or that Kiwoo takes up an opportunity of being a tutor even if he has no experience of being one, shows that they would take anything. Even if something is brought up against the other low-income group, they are willing to take this advantage to earn more than what they could have had if they played it safely. Also, because you would be watching this film digitally rather than in theaters, which by the way, there is no way that could happen unless if you're lucky to watch it on release on the big screen at a film festival in France, Australia, US, or UK. Anyways, this affects the viewing experience because since you have the will to pause through scenes and process your emotions rather than actually witnessing these events happen in real time, it adds tension. You also get immersive sound and big screen and blah 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 effects experience. So to conclude, Parasite reflects on these characters, the destructive consequences of a symbiotic relationship and trying to push down others just to receive everything only to fail miserably. Or, hear me out, maybe Bong-Joon Ho just thought of this on a late Tuesday and his mind is like incomprehensible. We mere mortals cannot like decipher any